Good afternoon, welcome to C&T Collectibles IMC. First half of the baseball season is in the books. We know what we have on that one, but what's going to happen in the second half? Well, I don't know that either, but we'll do our best to see if we can find some players who have maybe had a first half that's sustainable, or if they got a little bit lucky or unlucky, and figure out what to do with them going forward. So today we're going to look at the BABIP regression candidates. And BABIP is batting average on balls in play. So if you take away strikeouts, if you take away home runs, balls that are not in play, you wind up with balls are in play. And there's a certain batting average to that, you could say. So let's say the league average is around 300 balls that are in play. A player should get on base roughly 1/3 of the time, or just under that. If there is a wide divergence, someone's getting on base at a 400 clip, or if they're not getting on base and they're batting about 200 on balls in play, then you would look for some regression towards that mean. So what I've done is come up with some players that have a pretty wide divergence from what their personal career BABIP average has been. If you take their career number, not the league number, because people have different skill sets, and if you have a high level of speed, you can make a lot happen out of nothing, and if you're kind of a big slow guy that just parks the ball, then you're going to have a lot more variance in that number here. But I've got 6 players here, so let's just go over them and see if there's something to their success or lack thereof. All right, let's start off with Francisco Lindor for the 2021 season. He has a 248 BABIP for his career, 294, and over the last 3 years he's carried a 283 number. So balls that are in play, he's getting on base at a decent clip, except for this year. Why is that happening? So he's at a new spot. He could be nervous. There could be something to that here. So he's striking out at a career high level. He's swinging at fewer balls outside the zone than he ever has in his career, so pitchers are attacking him more, and with the Mets lineup, they probably have to do that, and he's not having the greatest success with that. It's not bad. I mean, a 16.9% strikeout rate is a pretty good level here. So he's putting a decent number of balls in play, and they are not finding grass. They're not finding safety. He's got a decent level of speed, well above average, so that's 70th percentile. So, I think that he's getting a little bit unlucky. Now, maybe he's not what he was with the Indians at a really, really high level. But I don't think he's this bad either, so maybe there's just something going on in his head, and hopefully he can correct that, because he's too good of a player to start declining at age, what is he right now? What is he? He's 27 years old. I mean, the guy's been around forever, and he's just 27 years old. So I'd like to see him get back on track here, and I think if perhaps the nerves that he has from playing in New York settle down just a little bit, he could be just fine. All right, moving on to his former teammate Jose Ramirez. What more do we want out of him? Here's a guy that's 21 home runs, having a terrific season. Again, 130 weighted runs created, and yet we demand more average out of you, Jose. So his 2021 BABIP 246, career at a 283 level. Last 3 years 267. So there's some upside there. He's well below his career numbers, not striking out a ton, walking at a pretty decent clip, probably seeing a lot of crap. So Lindor leaves and he's seeing junk, and he's absolutely making the best of it right now, but he's putting more balls on the ground than he has since 2017, and he's swinging at more balls outside of the zone since he has darn near his rookie season. So pretty decent speed, actually, for a guy that doesn't look like a sprinter, but who am I to question that, right? Who am I to say anything? So he's swinging at more crap, but when he connects, I mean, this is how good he is. I mean, he's not getting as many decent pitches to hit, and he's still, hitting 260 with 19 home runs. He'll be a 35-40 home run guy, hitting 260, maybe 270 if that BABIP comes up. But there's no reason for pitchers to pitch to him. He's getting crap, and when they do throw him something good, he makes them pay for it. So I'd like to see more upside out of him, but I just don't know if he's going to get the pitches for that. But big fan of Jose Ramirez anyways. All right, Brandon Lau. So now we don't have that huge confusion. We had Nate Lowe and Brandon Lau, but I think there's Nate Lowe's brother, Josh Lowe, and so we'll have confusion again in the very near future. If he comes up, then we'll have to go back to Lau and Lowe and try and figure out which one is which. But for now, I think I got it. 2021 BABIP 244. His career level is a little over 300 over the last 3 years. 321 clip. He's had some monster runs here, no question about it. Very high strikeout rate. Barrel rate, one of the things I liked about him coming into the season is that when he smacks the ball, he smacks it really, really well. He has that really nice combination of exit velocity and launch angle that you're looking for home runs, and he does have 21 home runs on the season. So from the power department, he's doing pretty well here. But he is hitting fewer line drives. He's hitting more ground balls. Not hitting the ball at a clip that's more commensurate with what he's done over his career. Is usually around that 40% hard hit rate, and his speed is decent, but not enough to really make up for squibbers or anything like that. So what we need to see out of Brandon Lau is fewer ground balls, more line drives, and a higher hard hit rate. If he does that, then his BABIP can start to correct upwards, and you could see a much better second half from the average department. Again, home runs are there, but a 208 average. Like to see that number come back up. Now, the 208 average that's banked. So with all these guys, that first half is banked, and there's not going to be enough that you can do to lift it up to your career low, or if you're at a really high level, to bring it back down to that regression. So if he does hit say 260 for the rest of the year, he's with that 208 average where he's at, I mean, he's going to wind up at that 230, 240 level here. So to think he's going to finish at his career average, too much damage has been done for that first half. So, but even if he's a 230, 240 guy with 40 home runs this year, anyways, I think you take it. So what we're looking for out of Brandon Lowe, yes, there's plenty of upside for him, but he's going to have to start hitting the ball harder with more line drives and fewer ground balls. I still like him. But let's see a little bit of a decent approach. All right, a couple of guys that have off to incredible starts. Let's see if they can keep it going. Nick Castellanos, 2021 BABIP. He's sitting on that 389 level, and his career average is closer to 335. So striking out at a career low percentage. So more balls are in play. So it's going to be tough for this number just to sink like a stone, because there's more data to be banked already. So, or not to be banked, it already is banked. And so the more data points that you have, the less relevance each additional one is going to have. So hard hit rate 41%, that's right in his career average here. Outside swing percentage 41% as well, so that's a career high. So he's swinging more balls outside of the zone. He's hitting the ball very, very high, but I would think that there would be some regression here with that batting average on balls in play, because typically when you're swinging at balls outside the zone, you don't get the greatest of contact ever. But he's so good, he's going to get pretty darn good contact most of the time here. So we'll see how this goes here. I think that number comes down. I think there's some regression for Castellanos, but again, what he's done this year at 331 average with that 390 BABIP, so even if it comes down, call it 10% or something like that, you're still looking at a guy that could finish the season, even in a worst case scenario, if things just go back to normal, 315 or 320, which is pretty darn incredible. So some regression, yes. Awesome player, also yes. All right, Cedric Mullins having a terrific season, 3.8 WAR on the season, all-star, just deserving everything that he's getting here. Just good for him. Very excited for him. 2021 BABIP 356. His career area is 313, so he's hitting the ball pretty hard. He's swinging at balls, and that's not a ridiculous number here to swing at balls outside the zone at a 30% level. Not that bad, making decent contact with it, but he's got the speed to make up for it here. So this is a guy that could be just a high BABIP guy. So some regression, probably. Again, this power is kind of coming out of nowhere. So if he can maintain that, and then terrific. He's going to have he already has an awesome season, but it could be a truly special season. But if some of those balls start to regress just a little bit and they don't leave the park anymore, then they're going to fall forward. There could be some doubles here, but it's also a little bit more in the fly ball area here. So do look for some regression, but overall it's going to be a terrific season for Cedric Mullins. Now on StarStock, buying some of his A's. I bought them for 30 cents. They recently all started selling for that $1.20, $1.25 area. So that is not a flex. I'm just saying I am largely out of my Cedric Mullins here. So I think rushing into him at this point, maybe there's a little bit of upside, but most of that money has been made here. And again, with the looming specter of regression, play at your own risk. But again, I don't think the regression will be that severe. All right. But these days, if you're not like the best in the league, then no one's that darn interested. So even if he returns to pretty darn good, may not be enough to attract a ton of interest for his cards. We'll wrap it up here with Tim Anderson, and this one's kind of fun. So 2021 BABIP 395, career average, he's about a 350 area here. In 2018 was only season below 300. He just missed it. So he swings out a ton of balls outside the zone. He makes decent contact with them, and he's got a lot of speed to kind of make up for some of those slow rollers. So it's just, looking at his numbers over the past few years, BABIPs of 395, obviously this year, but 383, 399, then you have the 289, 323, 375. He's just a high BABIP guy. So he's a high BABIP guy who's finding whose balls are finding more grass than usual. So it's tough to see. What I want to say is look for some regression, right? Look for this to come down. But it doesn't with him. He swings at everything. He hits everything. He hits it pretty decent. He has a pretty decent, pretty nice average. He's a batting champ. So I would say you're a regression candidate. But until he actually does regress, I'm not betting against Tim Anderson at all. But he does have one of the widest variants there. So there's plenty of guys that are 350 BABIP guys, and and they've been able to hang on to that. I feel like Moncada and Brian Reynolds and Bo Bichette, they've got BABIPs in that 350 area, and that's what they've done. They can maintain it. So the guys that can do it, that is an insane number. But again, he's put up these insane numbers in the past, and I think until he stops doing it, you just go with Tim Anderson. So that's what I got for you. All right, those are your BABIP potential regression contenders, and I've got one more of these with home run to fly ball rate. Are people hitting balls out of the park at an unusual rate? And can they sustain that? But until that comes out, that's what I got for you. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.